Hi, I'm Devin Calhoun, and I read the book Red Scarf Girl by Jili Jiang. This book was a biography, and it narrated Jili Jiang's life in Shanghai, China, just before, during, and after the Great Proletarian Cultural Revolution, which was in 1966 to around 1976. During the novel, it was an especially chaotic place to live in Shanghai because Mao was enforcing a lot of communist laws among the community. And he had a group called the Red Guards who were sent in to Shanghai to enforce all of his communist laws and to suppress the rightists' activities. But in Gili was cared a lot about her education, and the Red Guards created this group in her school, which were called the Red Successors, and this organization really act just like the Red Guards. But Gili was originally nominated to be a Red Successor, but she got it taken away from her just because of her low class status. And she was actually really upset about this because she cared a lot about her education and really wanted to go to a good school, but she didn't get to because she didn't have a respectable class status. But there was, in one part of the book, you could really see the Red Guards becoming extremely corrupt. They started searching people's houses of suspected rightists, and they would take all their valuables in the name of the revolutionaries. And it was getting really out of hand because the Red Guards were turning into their own kind of government because they started doing whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted, in the name of Mao. And at one point in the book, they said how a Red Guard even made a man kneel on a washboard in front of a wall, nicknamed the propaganda wall, with a picture of Mao on it. They made him do it until he fainted from hours from the heat of the sun. So this is just one example of how the Red Guards were really enforcing these laws really harshly, and it was really unjust of what they were doing. And the Red Guards really connect to the Nazis in Nazi Germany. Because the Nazis also went into people's house, taking their valuables, arresting them and even killing them just because of what they believed in. And both the Red Guards and the Nazis were following the law, even though it might have not been following their moral compass, because the Nazis were listening to Hitler and the Red Guards were listening to Mao, and they were really just enforcing the state laws. But even though the communists or the Red Guards weren't as harsh as the Nazis, they still both were just following the state and not real moral values. But in conclusion, we are often learning the facts about all of these revolutions, but this novel really shows the emotional repercussions of the Cultural Revolution. And I could really relate to Jili Jiang because I'm in a similar place in my education, and I would be just as upset if I had that taken away from me just because of my class status. But overall, the Nazis and the Red Guards really connected to each other just because of the unjust things that they were doing, just because of what their leaders were telling them. But I would really suggest this book to anyone who would want to read it because it really gives a good standpoint of a girl during the Great Proletarian Cultural Revolution in Shanghai.